glad you can make it this year.
Well, thank you, Jeff. It's very kind of you to invite us both to Christmas on Tracy Island.
Can we open our presents now, Dad?
Oh, sure, but you must call me Santa.
Yeah, I don't like the sound of that.
Go to your room, Gordon, and let's have no more of this childishness.
Oh, pointless family arguments already? Well, now it really feels like Christmas. Oh, I see Marina's already opened my present to her. Well, Marina, what do you think? What is it? Well, it's one of those text-to-speech things. See, you just type in what you want to say here, and then hit the button.
Hi, Marina.
See? You try.
Hello, my name is Marina.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you. This is very kind of you. Open your present now.
Okay, here we go. Well, this looks very interesting. What is it?
It's a plug-in memory module for the Randomiser, containing all the Jerry Anderson films and a few surprises. I thought you could use it on Christmas or other special occasions.
Well, that is very useful. Thank you very much. I'll just plug it in here, press the big red button, and away we go. How are you getting on with your machine, by the way? See, the great thing about it is it comes with a variety of accents for you to choose from. American?
Hi, I'm Marina.
German?
Guten Abend, ich heiße Marina.
Spanish? Oh, it's coming up with an error message.
Was machst du?
Well, I'm just trying to get it off German, but I think I've broken it. Oh, the randomizer printout. Well, Marina, your present to me certainly works fine. It's only gone and given us Thunderbirds are go.
Das ist sehr gut.
Yeah, isn't it?
Aber du bist ein Dummkopf.
I know. So, by popular request over the last, how long have I been doing this now? Year and a bit. We are now at the first of our Jerry Anderson movies on the Randomiser. I know a lot of people have been wanting these, and I think going forward I will try to include various little special bits and pieces along the way. It doesn't always have to be just episodes. We can have films too, but only on special occasions. And Thunderbirds Are Go is certainly the biggest and most well-known, I would say, of the Jerry Anderson movies. I hate this shot of the planet behind the Thunderbirds Are Go logo, by the way. I assume that's meant to be Mars, but it looks very ropey. It's a very, considering how spectacular so much of this film is, I mean, it's a visually stunning film, if nothing else. That shot of the spinning globe looks, it's a bit naff. Bit naff. But it's so great to see a Jerry Anderson series make the leap to the big screen like this. And of course, if any of them deserved it, it was Thunderbirds. Here we have new, well, not new because everything about the film is new, slightly different opening titles than we are used to, giving credit to all the Tracy brothers and, of course, Lady Penelope. Which is a nice, effective opening. I think they're sort of assuming that most of the viewers of this film would be at least somewhat familiar with the TV series it's based on. And if they are at all familiar with that series, then they will know it includes some wonderful music and some wonderful special effects. And this opening sequence of Zero X being assembled, rolling out to this gorgeous Barry Gray theme is almost a film in its own right, this assembly sequence. And of course, yep, rather than roll out the vehicle, we move the entire building because, yeah, that's easier. I don't know if anybody's ever actually looked into in real life how practical or cost-effective it is to move an entire building rather than just a vehicle.
Clear launch apron. 0X moving into position.
And I also really like the design of 0X, and particularly the MEV section. Just this lovely chrome blue and the red stripes that, of course, that motif continues onto the launch control building itself, and these lifting bodies that are now rolling out to join the main body.
All fuel tankers should now retire to a special area.
And I think we can see here, certainly when compared to something like Fireball XL5, they've taken a bit more real-world inspiration from having watched all those rocket launches and such in real life, seeing that it isn't just, you know, we're going to take off now, whoosh, away we go in our space rocket. There's a bit more build-up and preparation to this, so I think Zero X kind of reflects that more real-world spacecraft aesthetic that I think would carry on into Captain Scarlet and Joe 90 and onto the live-action stuff, in fact. So Zero X is a nice hybrid of the old-fashioned Fireball rocket-type vehicles and what was to come in the future.
This is assembly control calling all Zero X units. All radio beacons are go. Countdown continues.
Now, as visually stunning as this opening is, yeah, a lot of people have commented on the fact that it is exceptionally slow and laboured. I mean, I just took a break there to actually put my pyjamas on, in fact, and I've come back and I haven't really missed anything. And I don't know if the problem is that they just really want to show off like big screen spectacle right out of the gate, or if they're just not sure how to front load an exciting opening for this. Because while it looks very nice, it's we're now just sort of crawling down the side of the control building. Oh, and there's the MEV. Oh, I love the MEV. I love the MEV. Yeah, some interesting arty type shots here of the controller descending down a tube in his little control desk, and then sort of gliding like a Dalek towards the Zero X crew, who presumably have been sat there just staring at an empty hole in the floor waiting for him to turn up.
Dr. Pierce, Paul, Greg, Brad. Now this is a tough assignment. And if this mission is successful, you will be the first men to land on Mars. This project has been...
Sir, hasn't Fireball XL5 already been there on multiple occasions? Nope.
The safety of the crew and passengers still takes top priority.
Right, this is it.
And now, finally, the credits actually start rolling. We are 7 minutes and 40 seconds into this before the credits start rolling. And that music is back. Oh, that music helps this enormously, but... Oh, I can only assume they were just banking on sort of, whoa, look how cool this all looks, look how we can build this ship and how intricate it is, and whoa, but this is the kind of thing that the fast forward button on your remote is for. It's so hard to talk about this sequence. Visually stunning, beautifully designed, spectacular music, but yeah. I don't think this quite works. I can see what they were going for, and maybe at the time, on first viewing up on that big screen, it was, it did everything that Anderson and the team hoped it would do, but now it's... I feel mean for saying that I'm not keen on this opening, but I'm not... It's lovely to look at, but I just kind of wish the time being spent setting up the Zero X was being spent on, I don't know, things like characters maybe?
This is Central Control. Ignition 18 seconds.
This is a gorgeous shot of the fully completed Zero X waiting on the tarmac with its thrusters sort of smouldering and the police cars around with little flashing lights. It's a beautiful, beautiful ship, the Zero X. And to be honest, I'm kind of glad that we didn't see this in the TV show. It's great that this machine got the benefit of the big screen treatment. It really deserves it. It's a stunning piece of work. And going back to the issue of the Zero X crew being the first men to land on Mars, it does rather scuttle the theory that all of the Jerry Anderson shows take place in the same universe. It's not the only thing that that sort of torpedoes that theory, but around this time it was being very heavily promoted in the TV21 comic, and I think it works within the world of the comic because now you've got all the characters in Fireball, Stingray, Thunderbirds, Captain Scarlet. They're all designed to look more or less the same. It makes sense that they can cross over and meet up, and there's that little bit of cross-pollination from time to time. But the fact that we're supposed to believe that if Fireball and Thunderbirds took place in the same universe, that humanity travelled all over the universe to planets beyond numbering almost, but we never went to Mars. I don't buy that. In the comic, absolutely, no question. I absolutely buy into the shared universe continuity of TV21, but not so much on the screen. I mean, some of these shows aren't even compatible with themselves for contradicting each other. Anyway, enough of that. There's a suspicious character stowed away aboard Zero X taking pictures.
Roger.
Ooh. But he's got his foot somewhere where he really shouldn't have his foot, if he doesn't want it to get crushed, and this makes me wince. Oh, that is nasty. I mean, that would be nasty in UFO or 1999, but that's really nasty for Thunderbirds. Of course, it's the Hood. With his brand new, for this film only, I think, pained expression face.
Controls jammed. Jammed.
Oh, you see his teeth and everything. And, blood. Blood. Yeah, the Hood is, well and truly got his foot gnarled up in the Zero X.
System is jammed. Nose is dropping. Ejecting nose cone.
Which, of course, as you might expect for a Jerry Anderson vehicle, is going to break everything. Zero X is going down. And for Thunderbirds, this is a surprisingly graphic thing for a character to go through. I mean, even a villain.
Zero X control.
Even, the Hood, who obviously, is a very, very nasty chap, but he... the last we saw of him in the TV show, he was hanging off the side of a cliff complaining about curse those stupid boys, and then he fell off the cliff. He was kind of veered between sort of the Captain Black serious violence and the sort of more cuddly Master Spy and X20-y sort of comedy villainy. But here he that foot thing, that looks so painful. And there's blood dripping off his sock. Oh, leaving a trail as he crawls along. I can't remember any Anderson production actually, well, with the exception of that bit in Space 1999 that got cut from End of Eternity, having so much blood. I know there was blood in the puppet shows, but it's such a nasty injury. Anyway, the Hood's had enough for today. He's jumping out.
I'm ordering crew to eject. Repeat, eject.
Probably he's going to have a very uncomfortable landing on that foot as well.
SE rescue is on its way.
See? We have planes. And some of these are reused models from the TV show, some of which are brand new. And of course, the Zero X, this huge epic build-up of watching it all be assembled, and now it's just dropping out of the sky.
Coming back now.
All because of the Hood and his boot. You'd think that a huge spacecraft like that wouldn't instantly break just because somebody jammed their boot in a thingy, but here we go.
Here we go.
Now, spectacular as a lot of the effects in this are, one I'm not so keen on, it's just about to come up here, Zero X crashing into the sea, because it does that thing that always just bugs me, where this huge vehicle crashes and then we cut to an explosion, a smaller explosion than the vehicle should allow, happening slightly off the point of the crash. But it's a lovely shot of the Zero-X escape unit landing in the water. They've all made it out okay. But Zero-X is no more.
You've now had time to study the very fine report that has been produced by our aviation investigators. We at the Martian Exploration Center wish to thank those concerned for their untiring efforts in this direction.
Mess? You named your organization Mess?
And meticulously describes every happening that led up to the crash 24 months.
So here we are in the MES, well, conference room, I guess. It's very, again,
Now, before we
a very stylized set. Lots of black and bronze squares on the floor, and yeah, it's got a contrast with the blue of the space people's uniforms. They're all voting on this report thingy.
for your unanimous support.
I do wonder to what extent the report actually acknowledged the Hood's involvement. Did they find his mask? Did they find his foot, well, not his foot jammed in the trim, his boot?
Can I take it that I have your approval for this too?
Well, we never know. Anyway, Mr. Chairman wants to know if they should send another Zero-X to Mars. Everybody seems on board with it, bar one. We're getting this nice, long, slow pan down a line of very familiar faces from Thunderbirds TV series. There's Eddie Kerr and, of course, Commander Norman. We're going down to a character known as Angry Young Man.
I think our security arrangements are inadequate and would suggest that we ask International Rescue to be present at the next launching.
Are you suggesting, sir, that we're incapable of handling our own security arrangements?
I have 862 pages here, sir, which say just that.
So I don't quite know why he's called Angry Young Man. He sounds a bit more sort of timid, middle-aged type man. But anyway, and that's the last we see of... that's a very, very impressive set to use on just one scene. But then that's this film in a nutshell. We can spend so much time on sets and vehicles and things, and kind of not focus on the characters side of things so much. But we are seeing here that a lot of money has gone on updating and revamping Tracy Island, which looks absolutely beautiful, especially in HD.
Well, Father, takeoff is scheduled for tomorrow morning.
You'll have to make a decision soon, Dad.
Even if it's no.
This is a tough one. I know how you boys feel. I guess you're raring to go.
And this is an odd introduction for the International Rescue Gang, the Tracy family, considering that this is not as scripted or as filmed to the first point where we saw them in this movie, because there was originally a bit where Jeff filmed a response that was broadcast via a TV company, basically saying, thanks, but no thanks, we're not going to help Zero-X. I think that's the gist of it. Obviously, I've never seen it because, as far as anybody knows, it probably doesn't exist.
Launch Thunderbird 2 and follow Scott to Glen Field.
So again, this scene rather assumes that everybody watching this is going to be a Thunderbirds fan who knows all about these people.
3 and orbit the Earth until Zero-X.
Anyway, everyone's getting some jobs to do here, except for...
What about me, Father?
Well, it's unlikely.
Which one are you again?
But you better be ready in case.
Aren't you the one in space? No, you're the other one who...
Thunderbirds are go!
Poor old Gordon. So with a feature film budget comes new launch sequences for the Thunderbirds craft, new interior model sets, and we're, for once, I think we're actually seeing Thunderbirds 1, 2 and 3 going off together, which means we don't have to watch one vehicle launch in its entirety. We get to see all of them, which I think is a nice change of pace. It's nice to mix that up a bit. And some of these shots look amazing, but as always, the effect shots with the minifigures. There was a minifigure of Scott, there was a minifigure of Alan. They never look particularly impressive. But, new Thunderbirds 1, 2 and 3 footage. New pool. Oh, but some things never change, of course. The lemon squeezer still on the side of Thunderbird 1 hangar. Oh, and there's Gordon watching them go, with his sad face on. Meanwhile, presumably John in Thunderbird 5 hasn't even been consulted about all this. Because it's only a spaceship that they're going to be protecting. It's not like it's going to involve him
Of Zero X, the safety of the crew is assured, but
being up in space and all.
what about the saboteurs? Do you think they will strike again?
What's the time, Tintin?
Just about 11 o'clock, Mr. Tracy.
I
That
haven't
makes
had
it
my
about
pills today.
PM in England. Tea time.
I'm hungry.
Mr. Tracy.
Well, those saboteurs you were talking about. If they do strike again, I know just the person to take care of them.
Oh, I wish you'd gone for Jeremiah. Jeremiah could sort out the saboteurs. But no, there's only one lady to call. And there she is.
Very good, milady.
And I'm not sure to what extent the interior set of Creighton Ward Mansion was revamped for the film. I know the Tracy Island Lounge set was. This looks roughly the same as it did in the show, but there's probably so much extra detail there that I can't. I'm not one of those people who can stare at a shot from Thunderbirds and go, aha, that was filmed February 65 and it was a Tuesday, quite a wet day, and I can tell by the fingerprint smudge on that puppet's cheek who was operating them that day. I wish I was, because I greatly admire the people who can do that, but I'm afraid I can't, unless it's got a great big arrow next to it pointing out various changes. I'm afraid I just...
There's a big press conference tomorrow evening.
I just miss a lot of that detail.
You rang, milady?
Yes, Parker. Get out the Rolls-Royce. I'll call the airport. We're taking off for America with Fab 1 immediately.
And another dropped scene there, I believe, was that they went to America on the Fire Flash. But we don't get to see the Fire Flash in this film, and that's a real shame, because I assume, again, that they wouldn't have relied on stock footage for the Fire Flash, so to see a big screen version of the Fire Flash, oh, that would have been something special. But sadly, we don't. We do have a lovely shot of Thunderbird 2 coming into land here, though, so, you know, it's not all bad.
By tomorrow morning, Thunderbird 3 will be in the correct orbital position to keep an eye on the launch path, and we've got all our gear here.
Thanks. I guess that's all we can do for the moment.
And just hope that nobody else in the world needs international rescue, because if they do, they're, well, they're stuck with Gordon. Gordon and Thunderbird 4. And we're back to the 0X launch sequence. Or are we? Oh, Thunderbird 1 and 2 looking lovely there.
Commence 0X pre-flight assembly.
Thunderbird 2.
Strange as well that the guy, this Glenfield controller, he evidently has nobody working for him. He gives a lot of orders, but we don't see any staff hanging about the place.
Okay, Scott, in orbit.
And Penelope and Parker are still loitering around.
Now, Parker.
Ooh, tracking something. What could that be about? As if we didn't know. As if I didn't know, because I've seen this... Oh, I've seen this film so many times.
Lady?
Good. That's all right.
We're checking off the signals on the St. Christopher's, because each one has got a little transmitter built into the back of it to keep track of the crew, in case of trouble.
Channel 5, milady.
Trouble, Parker.
They're not showing Home and Away today, Parker. I won't be able to get my usual fix of Alf Stewart.
Oh, what's the trouble, Lady Penelope?
Number 5, negative.
Okay, Penelope, here's what
Number 5, not alive?
The countdown must continue, otherwise we miss the rendezvous with Thunderbird 3 in space. I'll attend to number 5. Meanwhile, locate Dr. Grant.
FAB.
This is assembly control. Radio control lifting body 2. About to take up.
So we have a potential imposter situation aboard the MEV. Scott's going to check that out.
Everybody okay?
Yeah, fine. Everything's just fine.
Oh, that's the response of a Mr. on, I think.
And how about you, Dr. Grant? Are you okay? Keep quite still, Doctor. There's something wrong with your face?
What's wrong with your face?
And this is one of the rare occasions where International Rescue actually meet the Hood face to face.
Allow yourself 10 seconds before coming through this door after me. Otherwise, you might get your head blown off.
Yeah, it's very strange considering that, you know, the Hood is International Rescue's arch enemy, but he never appeared in that many episodes of the show. And his main sort of like confrontation moment with International Rescue was Desperate Intruder, where he just sort of hypnotizes them off screen. It's very rare to see him actually like holding a gun on any of them.
I can see the gentleman in question ahead, m'lady. He's just leaving the control tower in a motor car.
Right, Parker. Away we go.
Now, you'll find the real Dr. Grant somewhere in this building here.
Right.
Oh, what, the bathroom? No, you don't have to go in there.
The missile store. Block F.
Oh, missile store.
And locate the whereabouts of Dr. Grant. We don't know his condition, but providing he's okay, bring him over to Central Control immediately.
We're still sending him into space. He doesn't get out of it that easily.
How do you know all this? A pretty little bird told me.
He's got a good start on us, m'lady.
Yes, I can see him down below. My guess is he's making for that motorboat by the jetty.
Ooh. Oh, it's that jetty with the 3 on the side that appeared in quite a few Stingray promotional pictures, in fact. It's your useless fact for the day.
Dr. Grant.
Just fine. There was no violence. He just held me at gunpoint, tied me up, and locked me in the missile store.
It was one of those very civilized kidnappings that you hear so much about. I love that line. That's just one of those lines where the writer put it down on paper and then evidently never looked at it again. Oh, glorious stuff.
So much for the good luck charm given to me by Lady Penelope.
So we can see now there's a little transmitter inside the thing.
Safety belts on, m'lady.
Because International Rescue think of everything. This is another lovely chase between the boat, which is making its way away from the jetty, and Fab 1's straight off the edge of the pier.
Take off lighting.
I'm wondering how much of this new 0X launch sequence is just replayed footage from the first time round. Anyway, cut into that, we have the Penelope and Hood chase scene.
My helicopter, m'lady. And no doubt it's Emily Hall.
Well, let's hope they attack, Parker. Then we may have an opportunity to shoot it down.
Are we playing a bit of murder today, milady? You seem to be a bit bloodthirsty and all. Yeah, that was very callous from Penelope. Oh, yeah, I hope I get the chance to kill somebody today, Parker. I haven't done that for at least, 6 hours.
Stand by to take evasive action, Parker.
Yes, m'lady.
This aircraft that's attacking them, this army helicopter, I don't think we really get a good glimpse of it in this film, but it does look like a very nice design. Again, it's not too far removed from the real world, but also it does have that sort of sci-fi edge to the design. I don't think we see it in any other show or series either, probably because of what's about to happen.
Thank you very much.
That's it. We've hit the helicopter with the Hood on board, and well, that would seem to be that for the Hood.
I don't think there's much point in looking for survivors, Parker.
No, m'lady.
Oh, Parker's taking his hat off, though. That's quite sweet.
Look, m'lady.
Oh, this shot is lovely.
What a magnificent sight.
Parker watching 0X taking off through the clouds. That is lovely. So yeah, as far as they're concerned, the Hood is now dead. Dead and finished. We're not even going to bother looking for survivors or anything. Just a nice bit of cold-blooded murder. And everybody's happy.
Height, 50,000 feet.
And Zero X's second launch seems to have gone much more successful than the first. And looking at the Zero X cockpit set, I think a lot of that was reused in
Zero X is entering rarefied...
in Captain Scarlet and Joe 90. I want to say it was like the
Okay, Thunderbird 2.
the V-17 Alpha bomber in flight to Atlantica, and the splashdown plane as well. I could be wrong, but the ceiling and a lot of the controls look very similar.
Start countdown for chemical rocket.
Commence of countdown coming up on computer.
We're having a countdown to the countdown.
Stand by to release lifting bodies.
Standing by.
Although that's not so unusual. We now have trailers for trailers, don't we? But this is a film that likes its countdowns.
Height 120,000 feet.
Increase rate of ascent to 6,000 feet a minute.
And that's Alexander Davion as co-pilot. I can never remember their names. It's Greg Martin, who sadly only recently passed away back in September. So he was the last surviving member of the Zero X crew. I think they've all left us now. Paul Maxwell, Neil McCallum,
Ports chemical rockets. 5 seconds.
Bob Monkhouse there, and Charles Tingwell, all gone.
Airspeed 3,000 knots. 4,000. 5,000.
I do also really like the look of most of the Zero X crew here.
Computer reports jettison nose cone 10 seconds.
Roger.
Maybe not so much Brad Newman. He looks a bit sort of flat-faced, but the rest of the crew look really suitably big screen quality.
Zero X, lifting bodies and nose cone jettison. Escape velocity reached. We are leaving Earth's atmosphere.
Oh. So, screw you guys, we're off to Mars. That almost seems like the moment where he should say, he should admit to some crime or some infidelity or something. It's like, and you can't catch me now, I'm off to Mars. Oh, and is that supposed to be Mars glowing in the distance? It's again a beautiful shot in the cockpit of the blue of the sky fading out to the black of space with stars, and it looked like one of the stars was a bit brighter than the others.
And accelerating to 100,000 miles per hour.
International Rescue calling Zero X. May we offer our congratulations on a superb liftoff. Fortunately, our services were not required, although I can tell you now that a sabotage attempt was made just before liftoff. But we took care of it. Now I guess the rest...
So in that sense, our services were required.
Dr. Grant has just told us about the sabotage attempt. The only thing we really want to say is thanks.
Well, it's been a hectic time for all of us. How about us all getting together tonight over a drink? I hear there's a fab nightclub called the Swinging Star near my hotel.
F.A.B.?
It's got Smile ahead on for that.
I just happen to be monitoring your...
And Virgil's not going to miss a party either.
Well, what do you say, Virgil? Are you game?
I sure am.
Oh, and I think on that note, we will leave it there for today for Thunderbirds Our Go. Zero X has successfully launched, and even though we've got half a film left to go, I'm sure nothing could possibly go wrong now. Uh-oh. I've jinxed it, haven't I? Ow. Means I have to come back next week. See you then.